Hello and welcome back. Today we're making a small batch of classic beef tamales. Whether you have a small family or you need a little practice for the main event, this recipe has you covered for the holidays or for a comforting dinner. The first step in this recipe will be soaking your corn husk. You want to make sure that your corn husks are nice and pliable, so I suggest that you soak them 45 minutes before you start this recipe. Place your burner on a medium heat and add 3 cups of water. Add 1 pound of chuck beef. Leave a little crack when you're placing your lid over your pot, and you want to bring this up to a boil because next we're going to be removing the impurities. And by impurities, I mean this. I want to keep it nice and clean. Once you're done clearing up your impurities, you're going to add 1/4 of an onion, 1 large garlic clove, and 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, or you can salt it to taste. Place the lid over your pot and leave a little bit of space, that way it doesn't boil over, and you're going to continue to cook on a medium heat for another hour and a half or until your beef is nice and tender. Anywhere from an hour and a half to 2, you should have super soft and tender beef. You want it to be fall apart tender. So go ahead and take your beef out and set it to the side and save your onion and your garlic, because you're going to need that for your chili sauce. For the best flavor in your tamales, you're going to want to use 1/2 cup of manteca. And manteca is pork fat. To your manteca, you're going to add 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. You can continue to combine all your ingredients by hand for 3 to 4 minutes until everything gets nice, soft, and fluffy. Or you can use your hand mixer, save some time, and continue mixing for 1.5 minutes. This step is really important for you to take your time to warm up your manteca, your pork fat, because once you combine it with your masa, it's going to allow for a beautiful union, making your tamales soft and tender and memorable. We're going to be using instant corn masa, also known as maseca. And before you start scooping your 2 cups, you want to fluff it up, just the same as you were if you were baking. And now you're going to start combining your ingredients. You're going to keep mixing until your manteca and your flour are well combined. And when you have a nice crumble like this, you're ready to start adding your chicken broth. I'm going to start adding 1.5 cups of chicken broth and just start mixing. You can see that we're going to need a little bit more chicken broth, and this is where you can start adding 1/4 of a cup at a time. That's why it's best for you to have 2 cups of chicken broth ready for you to use. That's why if you're in a humid climate, you might need 1.5 cups, but if you're in a dry area, you're gonna need 2 cups of chicken broth. Give or take a good 4 to 6 minutes of consistent mixing, you're gonna get a well combined and spreadable masa. And with the instant corn masa, you don't have to worry so much about getting your masa to float on water. You just have to make sure to fully combine. It's kind of looking creamy. Do you see that? And that's going to be the perfect texture to make the best tamales. Soak 4 Guajillo chilies in warm water for 10 minutes. Once your chiles are nice and soft, you're going to place them into your blender. And for those of you that need a little bit of spice in your tamales, you can use chile de árbol for a delicious spicy one, or you can use some serrano. But if you can't handle either one of these, you can skip it, or you can use your jalapeno. Add 2 cups of your chili water. Add your onion and your garlic. And now you're going to blend it until smooth. And boom, done. Pour your blended chili sauce through your strainer. Once you strain your sauce, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of instant corn masa, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, or you can salt to taste, and you're going to start mixing. After so many years of making tamales, I'm going to recommend something for you to ease your process. Cook your beef and make your sauce the day before. You can work on your masa the day of and soak your corn husk, making it for an easy assembly when you're making your tamales. Now, before we get started on assembly, let's go over the ingredients that you need for this particular step. You're gonna need your soaked corn husk, juicy and tender beef, your chili sauce, and your masa. You're gonna start with about 1/4 of a cup of masa. And if you so happen to have a tamal spreader or a dough cutter, go ahead and use that. Makes this a whole lot easier. Any excess you can just pick up and put it back on your bowl. Once you spread your tamales, you're gonna add your sauce. And remember, add some beef to your tamales. Don't keep people wondering what's in this tamal husk. You know, you want them to taste the beef, the sauce, the masa. You just want to fold it like this. Give that another beautiful fold. And then place them to the side while we continue with the remaining tamales. And don't be afraid of the ones that aren't perfect. They're still going to work. And depending on how big your corn husk is, you might need a little bit extra, and that's okay. You should have 6 to 7 small batch tamales, and you're gonna have some sauce left over. And what you're gonna do with this sauce is you can use it for your enchiladas or your chilaquiles. And with such a small portion, I'm gonna be using my pasta pot. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some aluminum foil right here to the side. And then you wanna start lining up your tamales. Bring 2 cups of water to a boil. Add your tamales. Place your burner on a medium heat, and you're going to continue to cook for another 45 minutes. Give or take 45 minutes to an hour. Your tamales are hot and ready. Be careful because this steam burns, so wait a few seconds before you start taking them out. And there you have it. Perfect tamales de maseca every single time. You're not going to have one complaint. All I'm going to say is wait 8 to 10 minutes before you open up your presents. Okay, I couldn't wait the 8 minutes. Oh, nice, soft and tender. Let's give that a little flip for you. Just beautiful. Nice, tender, and juicy, and ready for you to enjoy. Now I'm gonna need somebody very special to say As always, Cloud and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you, and we want to give a special thank you to our bell notification squad and those of you that come and watch every recipe. And on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Adios.